Okay, how did I get pulled back into this again after I said I wasn't going to do Idaho 4 content for a while? It's because old Pavarotti and his asinine conspiracy theories have dragged innocent people in again. And somebody that I normally wouldn't defend actually called him out on it, and now he's going after her. And so I'm feeling the need to affirm that she was correct and defend her. It's a strange situation indeed. So it all started with him and then Birdie, because of Pav, thinking that a man named Nicholas Mowich was involved with the Idaho 4 murders. And then they started trying to drag in one of Mr. Mowich's sons. Now, mind you, these are very false accusations. Nicholas Mowich had nothing to do with the Idaho 4 murders, and his son Jackson definitely had nothing to do. But what's crazy is Pav is bitching about somebody else not doing their research, yet he didn't do very good research because he is showing a Jack Schneider that is in any way, shape, or form related to Nicholas Mowich. So let's take a gander.
Looking at some of his children, and one of them, Jackson. It's kind of weird that his name's not Jackson Mowich. So I got to looking, and there is a Jackson who is a University of Idaho student. You see Jack right here. And funny enough, when you take Jackson and you take his initials of JS, and then we go back to the police report where they found an apartment that had blood in it, and the person's name was JS. Well, it's likely now that actually was not Jack Showalter. It was actually Turns out Matthew adopted Jack. Jack's actually Nick's son, but Matthew adopted him and I guess raised him, and he's from Spokane. And Matthew has one of his addresses listed as Queen Road, Unit 43 in Moscow. So it's quite obvious that Matthew here rented Jack's apartment for him there in Moscow on Queen Road, and that JS who they found blood in his apartment is more than likely Jack Snyder.
Okay, so I'm trying to do this without doxing. The Jack Schneider, not Jackson, okay? His full name is not Jackson. So you don't even have the right person anyway, just by name. But the Jack Schneider that Pav is showing, this is from his LinkedIn. He graduated from high school in June of 2023. So he started at University of Idaho in August of 2023. He was not even there in November of 2022. He was not living at the Queen Road apartments. So here's Jack again. He's 20. Not older, wasn't at U of I. His father's name is not Matthew. I have crossed out the father's name. He is not adopted. And his father's name is not Matthew. I am not showing you his father's name. Now, there is a Matthew Schneider that did live at Queen Road, apartment 43, but guess what? That apartment was from pre-1991. The Matthew Schneider that you found went to University of Idaho and lived in that apartment in 1990, prior to 2022. Now, this is Nicholas Mowich's son, Jackson Snyder. And yes, I'm saying the name because it's already been put out there by Birdie and by Pav. He graduated from high school in 2024. He graduated from high school in Western Washington. He is currently living in Western Washington. He has never lived in Moscow, Idaho. He has never lived in the Queen Road apartments. This is not the same Jack Schneider that Pav is showing. This is actually Nicholas Mowich's son. And yes, he was adopted by a man with the last name of Schneider, but that man's name is also not Matthew. And he lives on the west side of Washington, not in Spokane, not in Moscow. And the JS that was being referred to in the Queen Road Apartments was Jack Showalter, not Jackson Schneider.
Not here to talk bad about people, but very, well, let's just say very dense in her abilities to extrapolate the truth from a subject.
Did you really just say that? Really? You really said that about Phoenix when you have been showing the wrong person the whole damn time?
So she goes on to a cursory search of LinkedIn, like I haven't been all over the LinkedIn page for Mr. Schneider.
Oh, you mean this LinkedIn again? The one that's for Jack Schneider, not Jackson Snyder, Nicholas Mowich's son? Because, yeah, again, you have the wrong person, Pav.
And she ascertains based on looking at that, well, his kid was in high school in 2022. There's no way he lived there. Even though I've shown all the receipts for his stepfather having the address number 43 in the Queen Road Apartments that he rented for him. And
Well, your receipts aren't very good because this is really Jack Schneider's dad, and his name is not Matthew. And this is not Jackson Snyder's adopted father. And also, Jackson Snyder's adopted father's name is also not Matthew. And it's not the same person that's Jack Schneider's dad. So, it seems that Phoenix and I know what we're talking about, and you don't.
here's one thing that I'd like to ask this very, very not so sharp as a bowling ball lady is if you're ascertaining that Schneider was in high school in 2022, and that's your big debunk, well, explain to me how a young man who's 23 today would have been in high school in 2022. Can you explain that one to me?
Yeah, Pop, even if we use the kid you think it is, he graduated from high school in 2023. So he's not 23 years old. But if we use the correct Jackson Snyder, he also isn't 23 because he graduated in 2024. So no matter what way you dice it, whether you look at the wrong person, which you have been looking at, or you look at the correct person, neither one of them were in college in 2022. Neither one of them were at University of Idaho in 2022. One graduated high school in 2023, one graduated high school in 2024.
By all math accounts, that would make him 20 years old in 2022 at the earliest, maybe 19, about to turn 20. A little bit old for a high school student there, isn't it, Phoenix?
No, you finally got the nail on the head, Pav. He's 20. Your Jack Schneider is 20. The real Jackson Snyder is 19.
Learn 2 plus 2, and once you come up with 4, continue making videos. Until then, why don't you stick to your own subject matter, ma'am?
Nah, Pav, I'm going to defend Phoenix on this one. She can do whatever subject matter she wants to, and if she wants to call you out, she can call you out at any time. And I applaud her for calling you out. Her and I don't always see eye to eye, but on this one, she is 100% correct.
Because what I'm trying to do here is provide truth.
Truth? Did you really just say you're trying to provide truth? You're serious. Holy shit.
And now that I've got one of the alternate perpetrators,
Nope.
and being able to take that information and work backwards from it based on everything that we've already uncovered, well, there are so many things that are becoming very clear. All I can say is you may want to spend more than 5 minutes on a cursory look at a LinkedIn post before you open your mouth about, I don't know, about 100 hours of work it took me to figure out who was in apartment number 43.
Did you just say you spent 100 hours researching and you still came up with the wrong information and you still got the wrong Jack Schneider? Yeah, this is your sign that you should just quit research and go back to your day job because you aren't very good at it. And even Phoenix, who also is not very good at it, actually outdid you this time. And she actually got the right person. I was actually impressed that she found the correct Jackson Schneider, because I found him in about 2 minutes, and I was waiting to see who else would find the correct one. And Phoenix surprised me because she's been wrong quite a bit. So you're not even as good as Phoenix, Pav.
Not saying that he had anything to do with this atrocity whatsoever, but I am saying beyond certainty that his father did, and everybody now knows it.
So you know that with a certainty, huh? Well, you might want to prepare for a lawsuit, because I have forwarded this information to Nicholas Mowich's fiance and another one of his family members. Just thought you should know that.